Our lives go on when we have motivation. The stronger that motivation is, the more we can overcome the obstacles that inevitably come our way. A life without motivation is like a ship sailing in aimless waters with no sense of purpose to guide us through the storms and calms of life. When we have something to push us forward, something to strive for and pursue, our existence finds meaning and direction. If we look at society today, we can see how the lack of motivation is affecting different groups, from the elderly to the young. The elderly, neglected, lose their zest for life. The young, overprotected, like challenge. Today's gospel asks us about this dynamic. Just as Jesus asked his disciples, he also asks us, what is it that you are looking for? What is our deepest motivation? What do we seek in life? If you want to find something, the best way is to begin to search. You may not find exactly what you are looking for, what you seek, but at least you will have lived, you will have experienced searching. Maybe that's why the Gospels always begin with someone who is searching but does not quite know what he or she is looking for. Matthew begins with the Magi following a star. Mark begins with John the Baptist waiting for a different Messiah than the one who comes to be baptized by him. Luke goes exploring as a professional historian, and John presents us with disciples who do not quite understand where they are going, but they're all searching. The Gospels thus suggest to us the fundamental attitude of those who want to find God. Seek. Setting out to seek means allowing oneself to be driven by words not yet fully understood. Those who claim to set out only when the road is completely clear and straight will probably never move. In order to free us from our immobility, Jesus invites us to the recognition of our emptiness, of what we do not have. This absence is also called desire. We set out to seek because we desire something that we do not yet possess. And since we can never possess God, we can only seek Him again and again. In the Gospel, Jesus often addresses this question: what do you seek? What do you want me to do for you? Do you want to be healed? Jesus' desire is to give an answer to the emptiness that inhabits us. Like the first disciples, we also seek answers. However, life invites us not to be satisfied with definitions, especially when it comes to God, and to be in constant search. These two disciples in today's gospel do not ask Jesus for a teaching, a stable truth, but for a relationship. Master, where do you live? Look, the place where we live speaks about us, says who we are. Home is the place where we become a family. When a relationship becomes deep, you also feel free to invite someone to your home. However, the text does not tell us where Jesus' home is. The place where they were invited to have an experience with the Lord is not described, perhaps in order to avoid the idea that there is only one place, one way where one can meet the Lord. This place is always new and specific to each one of us, and it can never be made absolute. Each one of us is called to have our own experience of God. And here is the invitation for us as well. Go out and start looking. Do not wait for motivation to fall from the sky, but be active in searching for what you want to live for. You may not find exactly what you are looking for, but the journey of seeking will make you live fully. The Christian life is a continuous journey of discovery, growth, and deepening of a relationship with God. The two disciples do not stay in the house with Jesus forever. They go out again, and there is always a brother to bring to Jesus. Andrew seeks out Simon, and through these encounters, lives are changed. Simon becomes Cephas. Like the disciples, we can be surprised and transformed by searching. So, my friends in Christ, let's make our lives meaningful by finding the greatest motivation that comes from a personal encounter with Christ. Perhaps not everything will change immediately, but at least we will have begun a process.